third candidate tonight is Mrs. Christine Yardley. She is from Hilltown, and like the other candidates, I would ask that we're going to ask you to give an opening statement and a closing statement, and in between we have 6 questions that we're going to ask you. The total time for these is 30 minutes, so if you will be reasonably succinct, try to keep to that time frame. So whenever you're ready, please give us your opening statement.
Okay. So first of all, I want to thank all of the members of the board for taking time to interview all the candidates interested in the open school board seat in order to find the best candidate. I know you have many meetings and a lot of work ahead of you, so I appreciate your time tonight. I also want to thank all the people from the community for coming out and for your interest and commitment to our school district. I'm interested in being on the school board because I want to serve the Pennridge community. Pennridge has been my home for more than 18 years. I want to make sure that the district continues to improve educational opportunities for our students and to use its resources wisely. My whole life I've been a volunteer, including 4 years on the school board here, as well as work with the American Red Cross Bucksmont Katrina Relief Project, Rock Hill Mennonite Nursing Home, tutoring in Pennridge schools, as well as other schools in the United States and abroad, and many other volunteer activities. I have my bachelor's degree from Harvard, my master's in education from Temple, and I've taught at Quakertown High School and Central Bucks South High School, and I've also taught in primary and secondary schools abroad. The school board is the perfect place for me to combine my desire to give back with my experience and knowledge of curriculum and education. Therefore, I'm here tonight to offer my time and talents to the Pennridge School District.
Thank you. At this point, we'll move to the questions. The first question is, what do you believe are the primary roles of school directors?
The primary role of the school board, I think one of the roles is to create a vision and a direction for the school board. The board also needs to work together to approve curriculum, needs to work with the administrators in approving curriculum, adopting textbooks, and of course one of the most important jobs is working on the budget and approving the budget and setting the tax rate. And then of course another very important job of the school board and role is to hire the superintendent, which we just did, so or which the school board just did. But that is the one person that the school board hires directly, and then everybody else that works for the school district, the administrators interview and hire, and then the school board approves those positions. School board also approves, school directors also approve contracts. But the school director position, I think, is an interesting one because you're, as a school director, you're just one of 9 people, so you need to work as a team. You know, you only have 1 vote, and so I always tell people it's sort of it's an interesting position where you have power but you don't have power. So, and it's a very unique position. But I think in any governing role where you're part of a group in such as like a legislature or anything like that, the school director needs to represent the community, but and in this case, you know, in taxpayers and then also students, and I think that you know, working in a governing body, there's always the compromise is also very important.
Thank you. The second question is, what 1 or 2 issues are most important to you to be addressed by the Pennridge School Board in the next few months?
I know that the budget season is coming up, so I think the budget is very important in deciding what is going to be funded. PSER's contributions are increasing every year, so the budget is gets more and more difficult every year, so that's a very important job that the board has. And then the negotiations, I think, is the other very important issue, because I believe the PESPA contract is still open, and then I know the teacher's contract is expiring in June of 2014, so working on those negotiations will also be very important.
Thank you. Third question is, what major decision made by the board in the last several years do you strongly agree with or strongly disagree with, and why?
Okay, well, decision that was made last year that I agree with was the addition of adding transportation to the summer school. I believe that our, the role of the school directors is, the primary role is, making sure that we have quality education, and I think increasing the number of students who attend summer school is very important, and that was something that would aid the students. As far as a major decision that I disagree with, I would have to say when the school board cut the tax collector's pay in, I forget the exact year, but I was on the board at the time, and I did vote against that, but it did pass 7-2, and I think that was a decision that caused a lot of upheaval in the school district, so that's one that I disagreed with then, and I just can still disagree with today.
Thank you. The next question is, what experiences do you bring that would help make you an effective school director?
Well, the one experience I have that I don't think any of the other candidates have is I do have 4 years of experience on the school board, so that gives me a lot of knowledge and understanding of how the school district works, what's required of school board members. There's a learning curve when you get onto the board, and there's a lot of material to learn, and because I have learned all that, gone through that for 4 years, gone through 4 budgets, understand that with the facilities, things that have done. I also have a history of the school district, so that's one experience that will let me be an effective board member if I'm chosen right from the start. I also have a lot of experience in the school district. I have 4 children, and they're all in different levels. I have 2 at Grass Elementary, 1 at Central, and 1 at the high school. I've also volunteered at Grass and Central. I also volunteer at South Middle School in the multiple disability room. I've been to all the schools. I have a very wide and deep understanding of the school district. I also have experience as a teacher, so that allows me to have a good understanding of curriculum, what's going on in the schools, what we need to do, so I really, and combined with my school board experience, I really can look at the school district from many different points of view. So that, all those experiences will allow me to be an effective board member.
Thank you. The next question is, after attending the 2014 budget hearings, you are faced with a proposed budget which necessitates a millage increase. There are specific items in the budget which you feel should not be funded. However, you do not have a line item veto. How do you cast your vote? Do you explain that decision, and if so, how?
For me, I guess it would depend on what the exact items in the budget are that I disagree with. If they were small items, if they were large, if there was something I was philosophically opposed to, it would be, without knowing the exact issues. So it would depend. I might, if they were very large amounts of money, or if something I was philosophically opposed to, I might vote against the budget. If they were small and something that I could live with. You know, on the board, and in a governing body, there's always compromise, and nothing's ever perfect. Nothing ever is exactly how, you want it to be or think it should be. So I might vote for the budget thinking of if I thought it was for the greater good and the good of the school district and the good of the students. And and if I did have specific reasons in voting against the budget, I would explain that. Or if I was going to vote for the budget, but I had reservations about certain parts of it, then I would explain that also.
Thank you. The last question is, please state your views on interactions with administrators, faculty, staff, citizens, and students who disagree with your views or even chastise you publicly for a position you have taken.
Well, there are always going to be people who disagree with my views or with how I vote, and I think that's part of serving on the board, and I have experienced that, and just think that's part of it. Comes with the territory and being in a governing body, that there are always people who disagree. Not everybody's going to be happy with the decision that's made, and just try and understand that people have different points of view. I would also try and learn from other people's points of view, and